This is the Rebuker. I'm back with another one. Hit the like, share, subscribe, notification bell, and the Cash App will be in the description. I'm going to call this video Narcissist is Having Problems with Other Narcissists. Now, I haven't really made a video about narcissism or any of that, I don't believe. I've only been a YouTuber for a couple of years, but I just wanted to touch on this subject because narcissists was having their way with empaths over the last almost 30 years that I can go back and see. We'll just say 30 years. But right now, in the 2020s, a lot of narcissists is having problems with other narcissists. You see it constantly. And that's because narcissists is not really targeting empaths like they used to. Because most of the people that are narcissists, they're the ones having things because of over the years of all the deception with, women, with the baby's dad, or the baby's dad with the baby's mom, vice versa, all that. And a lot of these people, even if they're not narcissists, they have narcissistic traits where they're close to being a narcissist. Now, if you look into DSM, and this is for educational purposes only, if you look into DSM under cluster B personality types, all of them are narcissists. I don't care if you're antisocial, histrionic, borderline, or just a straight narcissist. All of them are narcissists, and they all can be comorbid, meaning that one can go into one personality, like a straight narcissist can turn into an antisocial, which I don't like how they lump them two together, because a psychopath and a sociopath, one is born that way and one is made that way. And they're very similar, meaning that they both don't have no remorse, but one is more of a manipulator and one, what they can do. So at the end of the day, you see it on jobs, you're seeing it in families, you're seeing it in communities, no matter what demographic you're in, whether you're in the urban area or the suburban area, it is happening. They're having problems with each other. And I just look at it as all God's work, because there was a time when nobody knew about narcissism. They were targeting the empaths. And what a lot of these narcissists learn about the empaths is, if you are genuinely an empath, you're going to persevere and you're going to be resilient in the end, if you're a strong individual and a true empath, because your whole core of you is love and kindness, and you can feel pains of others. So that's what a true empath is that we can meet people where they're at, and we can feel their pain, and we have compassion and all that. The narcissists used to target that because they know that they're not like that. They don't have no empathy. They don't have that. They like to build you up to bring you down. So that's their whole intent. But now, over the years, since it's been out in the open about these narcissistic people and narcissist people, they are not really targeting empaths. Some still is, but a lot of them is going after other narcissists, because a narcissist don't know usually another narcissist. Now, a sociopath, right, for instance, might be able to feel another sociopath. But when I say narcissist, if it's somebody that's a straight narcissist and somebody that might have antisocial or histrionic or borderlines, they don't know that that other person is a narcissist like them. So they start targeting them, and next thing you know, there's a back and forth, and they're both doing malice to each other. So it's like the good Lord has turned everything around, and where they're at each other's throat now. And that's how the devil does too. First, he use you for his purpose, and then next thing you know, they going at each other. And it just happens like that when the Lord steps in and allow things to go for a minute, and then next thing you know, that they at each other's throat. You see it on these jobs. You definitely see it in families. You see it with celebrities. It's all around, These narcissistic and narcissist people, they have to look to bring somebody down. That's their whole goal and intent. Even if they have to build you up to bring you down. That's their whole intent. And they're stalkers, they're liars. One thing that I'm going to drop a jewel for y'all. One thing that you will learn about a person that is narcissistic or is a narcissist, they have pathological lying. That's what they do. They pathological lie, but here's the kicker. You probably never heard this on any social media. They can't remember all the lies that they tell. So if somebody told you something 3 months ago, rehash it. And if it comes out different than it did 3 months ago, that's because they can't remember what they say. And they will say different things all the time. When they say that all the time, you know that you're dealing with a pathological liar, and they may be a narcissist. I'm not saying that they are, but they definitely have narcissistic traits. And if you got 5 of the 9 traits of what they throw out there, then you are labeled a narcissist. So at the end of the day, y'all need to get into y'all studies and study about this. So once you've been with 1 or maybe 2, you can recognize them. And sometimes they be right next to you and you say, wow, why was this family member always this way? And then you go back in time and then you say, wow, man, this person always, was like this and this and this. But you don't really, you seen it when they were young, but when they become an adult and it really starts coming into fruition, then you realize, you say, wow, this person, yeah, they're very narcissistic. And 9 times out of 10, they're a narcissist. So just be aware of what's going on out here. Pay attention, be vigilant, and understand that we're living in a dog-eat-dog world. Why do you think there's so many lone wolves out here? A lot of people don't mess with people. People don't go by people's houses no more like they did in the 80s and 90s and 70s. That's no mas. They're not doing that no more. People ain't going by there no more. Everybody is sticking to just themselves or their families and raising their children or grandchildren. And then once they get grown, it's lone wolf after that. People have trust issues because a lot of these narcissists have intertwined with a lot of empaths and made it bad. So now nobody trusts nobody. And you see it, especially in the churches too. Now, the good churches and the good bishops and pastors, salute to y'all, but that's very far few in between. You got a lot of these bishops and pastors that is motivational speakers and not really pastors and bishops. And I've already put out a video about that, about these motivational speakers, but a lot of them are narcissists, and you wonder why the church is going to the stage of apostasy, because God ain't going to bring the increase to these narcissists faking the funk, so I ain't going to go deep. This might be a part 1, but I'm just freestyling this just because it was on my mind to make this video. But hey, this is the Rebuker. Hit the like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell, and I'm out.